first part of the journey, I was tripping around, you see. And then I found some gold in the ground. I got the fever inside me. The first thing I found was a mine with no name. It felt good to be high on the green, 'cause in the mine you can't remember your name. So awesome sauce became the claim. La 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 la. You're mining for gold, but you're doing it all wrong. And I have to tell you now, there's another way. Empire Gold Mining, they can show you how, and we'll even have some fun along the way. We're having fun mining gold down in the sun. Digging in the dirt is what we do. It's not really hard, don't be a puss, get in your car. Come on out to Vegas today.
Okay, everybody, today I've got some material right here. This is from a gold vein. I crushed the material up a little bit just to get it out. I haven't done any actual crushing of the material yet. That still has yet to be done. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it through my screen to show you guys a little bit on fine gold. So I'm going to screen this off real quick, and I'm going to see how much fine gold we can collect out of this for today. Let me get the camera over here and get a better view of what I'm doing. Okay. Now, since we're working for fine gold today, I'm going to put this screen over. This is my 1/2 inch screen. I'll put it over my fine screen here. This one right here is a 1/8 inch. It's a welded mesh. And this one here, some old stuff in there. This one is a fiberglass mesh, and it's more like 1/16. So it's the same kind of end you would use on your home window. So I'm not going to use this one. I'll put this on top of my fine. Dump this bucket out. It's got some contaminants in it, so I don't want to stick any gold from anything else in there. So I'll make sure this is clean. If there was gold there, now it's in my yard. So, there's the clean bucket. I'll take my fines bucket, put it in, and I'm going to put this on top of that. There's plant matter in there. Okay, so. So, I've got that. Still this in here. I'm going to work that down till it's got all the good fines out of there. I know some people prefer to do this wet, but it doesn't bother me either way. Alright, so I have a little bucket to put this in right now. Darn. Okay, so I'll just work with what I have there since I don't have another bucket around. I don't know how much is here. Looks like just a little bit. Move this over here. Okay, so normal pan that everybody uses, is not going to work for this. It's just too big, doesn't have enough finesse to it. So you want to go with a smaller pan. This is about, I don't know, 9-10 inches. I don't know. Let me see if it says on the back here. It does not say what size the pan is at all. Oh, I'm going to go with 10 inch because I see a number 10 on there. So, but this is what I do. First, you want to rinse out your bucket. Rolling Smoke Barbecue. Wonder what that is. Look them up on Facebook to find out. Anyhow, back to what I was doing. Just a little bit on the side here. I want to make sure it washes down in. Now what I'm doing here is I'm making the clay that's mixed in with it, or the fines that are in there, liquefy. I'm just going to dump that mucky water off, because I'm not worried about that mucky water. And do this one more time. Shake a little bit. Alright, now the heavies are left where they need to be. Dump out all this excess water. Pay attention to my bucket so I don't dump anything out. Okay. Now, this is when I'm going to try and transfer it. So, shake your bucket. Shake it, shaky, shaky, shaky. Throw a little bit of water in there like this. That'll help get the rest out. Okay. Now, as you all know, I put a safety pan under. There's still some cloudy water in there. I'm going to dump that out also. Now, I don't have any jet dry or anything like that in this water, because there's no oils in this material of any kind, so I shouldn't be having any problems with floating gold. But you start with a couple tablespoons in your pan, just like you would if you were running, say, a Blue Bowl or a Miller table or one of those things. Now this Air Force base isn't too far away, so we get jets flying over. It might get loud. But you shake, give it a good shake, I don't know, 30 seconds or so, gently like this. And just get rid of your excess water again, slowly, so you don't dump anything off. That keeps your working water clear so you can see what's going on better. But shake it, shake it, shake it. Bring your material down to about right here on your fines pan, just before the last riffle, and slowly wash it off like this. Just dunk and lift, dunk and lift, dunk and lift, dunk and lift. You'll do that pretty fast. If you don't lift it all the way out of the pan, you won't clear everything out. You'll get bind up right here. So you want to make sure you try and lift all the way out of the pan every time. You don't really have to worry about losing anything usually, because it's all hiding right around here. But when you get down to a small amount there, to about a tablespoon, I guess I had about 3 or 4 in there, you're going to want to bring it down to this fine side over here. You get it over there, remember, shake, 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 a lot of shaking. Bring your material to about here, about 1 inch before. The same as you did over here, you're just going to wash it slowly. And it's 110 degrees out right now in the shade, or in the spot that I'm standing in right now, so I don't know how long this is going to be. I'm already hot and sweaty. But I re-stratify, bring it back down again, just like I did before, cleaning that off. Okay, now you can usually find out if there's anything in there at this point by just want to tap it like this, you bring everything down to the front focal point, if there's anything there, and then you tap with your wrist right here, hold your pan still with this hand, just hold it still and bump with this hand. That'll draw all your material from everywhere here over into a corner here. Just bump, 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 bump. All the heavies are going to end up here. Keep bumping. You can turn the pan a little bit, bump some more. And bump, bump, bump. Okay. And slowly swirl your pan. Try to see if you can uncover anything. Slowly. 2 little flakes right there. Yep, there's, oh, it moved. Okay, so I'm going to clear some more of this material out so I can get you a good view of this little piece of gold. Same as before, just like this, carefully and slowly. Bring the water to halfway up the pan, clear it out without touching what's over here. Restratify, move it all back down to your focal point, and begin your slow wash again. This is the most tedious part right here, to get your fine gold out this way. And really slow. Try and keep this plane level. Your incline plane doesn't need to be all that steep, is what I'm trying to say. Should just be able to slowly wash all of these lights out, even behind your precious little bits of gold. Now, it's hard for you guys to see this in this camera, that I know, but let me see. I see 1, 2, 3 of them, and I know that the camera is not going to pick that up. I wish it would. Right here at the end of my fingertip is 3 small, very small flakes of gold. I'm going to see if I can get a zoom in on the camera. Alright, now, I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Oh, there it is. Right there, right on the edge. See all this stuff's floating here? It's floating because it's such a small, fine material that it doesn't break the surface tension of the water, so it just goes and floats. Gold will do the same thing. That's why a lot of people like to use a little bit of detergent or jet dry or water wetter, but give it a little tap or shake, either or, helps break that water tension. There's still a lot floating there, but it will drop it down. Just not as well as it would if you use jet dry or something of that sort. But there's your little lesson on how to take care of really fine gold. It's very tedious, very pain in the butt. But if you have the patience and the time to sit there and pan it, you can pan it. You don't have to have a machine. If you don't want a machine, you just have to have a steady, slow hand. So keep practicing. And if my videos are helping you with your techniques on panning, just leave a message and let me know. Hope to see you guys all out in the field someday. Have a good day. Okay, I know we just did the fine gold just a minute ago, and I said I was leaving, but I figured I kind of want to know what's in the rest of this bucket right here that I had screened. So I'm going to run it through my 1/8 right here, real quick, just to make it a middle size, see if I find anything there. Dust. I just want to show you guys what the ore is looking like also. There's just a few pieces of it right here. It's got a lot of this dark iron in it, a lot of red and orange, and a lot of intermittent quartz of the same colors. So those are the types of colors you probably want to be looking for usually anyhow. And here's that little bit that I just ran through that. I don't ever expect to find anything. When I do, I'm happy. So I'm going to take this little bit, do the same thing as last time, just to get the cloudy water out. Alright. and that's plenty clear enough. So I'll go and I'll dump it in my, I think this is a 12-inch, 13-inch pan. I don't know. I've got so many pans, I forget the sizes. I don't know if any of you have seen that Gold Hog pan or not, but I don't know anybody at all is going to want to buy that at $200 some odd for a pan. I mean, you can easily do the same thing with a pan like this, if you speed pan it. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm stratifying all of my material, causing the heaviest to drop down under all of these lights. I swirl it, I don't know, for a few seconds, 15, 30 seconds, then I want to shake it back and forth until I bring it forward, dump off some of this cloudy water so I can preserve my clean water. Right now I've got about a cup of material in there, so I'm just going to keep shaking it. Just keep shaking it, just because the more I shake, the more likely it is to drop all the heavies and the gold into that bottom focal point. Down by focal point, what I mean is down here along this edge in the pan, that's a focal point because that's where the two points meet at a focal point. So there's two words for you so far: inclined plane, which is your slant, and focal point. But I've re-stratified it all the way down to the bottom again, so I'm gonna have to do more shaking left and right. That's okay, I got a lot of cloudy water here. Alright, so back to the left and right motions. These are the important ones. Brings your focal point gold into your focal point. That way when you bring it down this way, it's all back in that corner. You can wash it off. Yeah, I use the same motion with the big pan and the big gold that I do with the small gold. Just a little faster, a little more vigorous. So I'm going to bring it over to this small riffle side again because I know my gold's going to be small in here. Keep shaking. I hear a lot of rattling. It could be a good sign. And wash this off. Once again, you don't really need that much of an angle for your incline plane. But I'm going to see if there's anything here. This ought to be easy to find out. Larger pieces are easy to pan. So, just see anything showed up. There's a piece of heavy quartz right there. Ah, bummer. Skunked. Nothing in that bit. At least I found that one fine piece of gold, though. I'm happy about that. Hey, here's a technique that you probably all saw once already. Take your pan and you swirl it like this. Just keep swirling it. Give it a couple of minutes. All your heavies are gonna centralize in the center focal point. Now, if you do that well enough, you can keep all your gold right there in the center, just like this. And you can wash it off and look to see if there's anything right in the middle. It's a pain in the ass. Doesn't really work all that well. I thought I just saw a little piece hang out there. I'm going to pan this down just a little bit more. I'll show you slick wall panning. Okay, so slick wall panning. You take your slide ball that's slick. You just slowly pan. It's kind of like the panning for the fine gold. But you just want the water to barely hit over here. So it just barely takes that with you. Working on more of a half motion than a full motion to clear all those lights out of your way. You can bring it back to a focal point again like I showed you before. Right there's a little flake that I saw. Tiny, about the same size as last time, and there it goes, floating off thanks to the oils on my finger. Well, there's an example of float gold. Sorry about kicking that. But there's your lesson on small fine golds and other. But as you see, you can still pan those fine golds, even with the larger material in there. It still will drop underneath everything else. So if people tell you you can't pan fine gold, prove them wrong. There it is. Right there. Do you see it? Let me get a zoom in. Maybe you can see better then. Alright, so right here. There we go. I don't know if you can see that guy right there. But that's the small flake that was in with that other stuff. So that's 2 flakes that I got out of that. What was that, about a cup of material altogether. So all fines under 1/2 inch. Oh, no, that was all under 1/4 inch. So in between 1/8 and 1/4, I was able to find one flake that should have been in the probably like 30 mesh, somewhere around there. So, but there you go. I hope you all enjoyed it. Have a good day. Okay, everybody. Another segment for you guys. This material here is an osmium ore. I don't know if you can really see this. It's kind of like a limestone-ish rock, and you got these crystals of osmium in there. If you don't know what osmium is one of the rarest elements there is on the face of this earth. It runs about $400 an ounce. What it's used for, there's a few applications, like ballpoint pen tips and calligraphy pens, stuff like that. I'm going to pour some of this in here. This is my crusher that I made, since I couldn't find anything worth using out there on the market. Everything on the market you find out there, like crazy thumb crusher or whatever the hell the names are, thumb crusher is only about this tall. You got the small weighted mallet. You can't really crush quartz or anything like that, hard materials with it. Quartz is rated on 7 through 9, which is almost as hard as diamond. So it's not like it's some sissy rock or anything. It's strong and beefy. So I got that in there. This is osmium. It's not a hard rock or anything like that. It's a very brittle metal. Okay, and what I'm pounding with is this is a, I don't know how much it weighs, but it's a breaker bar that you would use for concrete or caliche or something of that sort. But I use it with the crusher because it's really the only thing I could find that was acceptable for what I wanted to use and do. So, take my crushed ore, osmium ore, and I pour it in the pan here. And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these bigger pieces and put them. That's not the right screen. The right screen is that one over there. Alright then. I'll put it into this screen here. It's a 10, which means there's 10 squares per inch. So that would be 1/10 of an inch. So, take my pan. Dump my material in there. Still have the powder in there, as you can tell. That powder will be fine. I'm just going to run it through here. Now, if you're wondering what kind of screen this is, it's made by a company called Camel. It's called their nesting screens. I think they're $5, $10 each, something like that. But they're perfect to sample. They fit in a backpack great. Alright, I'm going to put this back in my crusher. I'm going to give that another little crush real quick to make sure I get more out of this, so I can actually show you guys a good pan of it. You'll be surprised with how much material is in here. Alright, go back in again. just me hitting it on the ground to get the leftovers out. Alright, that's pretty good there. Add this back to all my other stuff. Green goes there. So, I want to get this back into a small finish pan, just because it's easier for the job. Now, see what color that is? It's kind of a grayish color. A lot of that is the rock that's in there that's been pulverized. Just going to give it a swirl, trying to work it into the water. And shake, like always. I'm going to dump off this cloudy stuff like I usually do, just because, well, I just don't like it that much. And yes, osmium is one of those heavier elements. Once again, I'm just trying to get the cloudy water out to preserve my panning water over here so that everybody can see what's going on best. So I'm just dumping off the cloudy water off screen for everybody not to see. Okay, now, I don't know if you guys can already see this line back here where the osmium is, but I'm going to get some soap real quick because my hands are a little oily and getting in there, so I'll be right back. Okay, I've returned with Cascade Rinsade, better known as Jet Dry or Water Wetter. Now, I'm going to get some water in this pan so I can show you the floating. My hand in there, some oils are there. Okay, see all that stuff that's floating in there? Watch. No more floating. So, I add a little bit of that to my water. I'll mix it in just a little bit. Okay, so, just like you would gold, a shake and a circle. This fluidizing action is causing all the heavies to drop lower than your lighter post-rock material. And you see I'm bringing it forward, just like I do with the gold, same exact motion. I slowly wash this lighter top material off, slowly, because I know there's probably about an ounce of material in this right now. So there's probably $400 worth of osmium in here. But the thing is, it's so volatile to be refined and so rare and not used very often that nobody really wants it. I've tried lots of places that say they can do something with it. They can refine it, they can this, they can that. One guy sent him a couple ounces. He said he could take care of it. He ended up blowing up his still because when you fire this stuff, it has a tendency to explode and also release a noxious gas that happens to be poisonous. So you don't want to put this in the fire at all. And I don't know if you can see what's coming out right now, but you can see the osmium already. It's already good solid ring. There it is, you see that? So I'm going to bring this over here to slick wall so I can get the lights off easier without the riffles in the way because they cause too much turbulation. But I'm going to do it just like I do with the gold. Dunk and lift. This material is almost as heavy as gold and platinum. It rides in the same group of metals. It's pretty brittle. It breaks. It doesn't flatten, kind of like platinum. And there is some going away there. Some of my float osmium is gone, but I'm not too worried about it because I've got literally tons of this material. So the little bit that I do lose, I don't care. But here you go. Nice, pretty gold material. The reason osmium has this gold color is because there is trace elements of gold in with it. There's also elements of manganese and a couple other elements that have a goldish color to them, which most osmium's a silverish color. So, but this has a hue to it from the other host metals that are with it. And yes, there is gold that you can get out of this. I can get a small button of gold out of that, probably a tenth of a gram, somewhere around there. But that's how you pan the material called osmium. And I hope that clears up, a little bit about osmium. The ore itself, let me see if I can find my can that has the ore in it. I'll show you what that looks like in the sunlight. Let me bring the camera right here for now. I'll set you guys right here. I'm going to go grab the can. Okay, I'm back. Now these samples were collected last year. I can't remember exactly when. If you look stuff up on my Facebook, you'll find it. This is a piece of aluminum. It's a nail. This fire had to have been really hot to get this aluminum to melt with a nail that melted. Because typically nails don't melt. Or wait, yeah, those are rivets. Never mind. But that's a piece of aluminum I found out in the middle of the desert. Probably car fire or building. I don't know what the hell it was. But here's one of the cooler pieces in there. I'll get you a zoomed in on it. It's a pretty material, isn't it? And this has got at least 2 ounces of osmium in it, so about $800 for this rock. I don't know if anybody wants to obtain any of this. I am willing to sell specimen pieces like this, but it's not going to be $800 for a specimen like this. It's probably closer to somewhere around $2,400, I'm thinking. But this isn't something you're going to want to crush. This is something you're going to want to have sitting out. People say, oh, look, pyrite, and then you can explain to them that it's not. I will even send you a printout with it that tells you exactly what elements are in it, so you have that as proof to prove to people that you are not just holding some piece of junk rock. So, there you go. That's just one of my pretty pieces. I don't know if I'd ever get rid of that one, but see what else is in my can here. This all came from the same rock. That's what some of the ore looks like. This it's got a lot of sulfides in it. That's where the gold and platinum come from. There's some more of the material there, if you can see it. Just riddled throughout all this rock. So here's a whole plane of it. Let's see. Got a couple of veins running through parallel to each other there, another one there. And it's a rich sample of ore pieces. Some of them need to be broken apart to see the full vein. But I think this one right here has the piece of gold in it. I wanted to have checked. This whole section right here looks like it could be gold. I was looking at it under a microscope. It's very round rather than square. So, but there you guys go. That's what the osmium ore looks like before it's completely crushed up. So, it's another look at that pretty rock. And I guess I will go inside and I'll grab the paper that has the report from this on it, and I'll put it on with this video so everybody can see what that report says. Oh, I almost forgot to put the aluminum away. And how do they say aluminum in England area? Aluminium. They're adding extra letters. Or are we taking them away? I think it's us changing the words, making it our own, because we're Americans and that's what we like to do. But there's my mess. I'm gonna get it cleaned up, and it's freaking hot out here. Here's something you might like. That is quartz crystal, laden with copper, causing it to be a green quartz. This material does have gold in it. I don't want to crush it because of the green quartz in it. I just kind of want to call it kryptonite, you know? It's just cool. I like it. But that's that. And some of the rock samples over here, like this. Yes, there's gold in this one too. Just leave gold laying around my front yard because, well, where's it gonna go? Anyhow, I'll see you all later. Have a good day. Hope my panning lesson helped you out, and the ore lesson helped you identify maybe some osmium or some other type of mineral out there that looks like it, that could be platinum, because platinum also grows the same way as osmium, looks the same way, except it's what it looks like is, it looks like it's silver pyrite is what it would look like. It's pretty rare. Not all platinum's going to look like that either. That's just the sulfided platinum. So there's many different types of metal. Even gold has a sulfide ore, and that's one of those trickier ones to refine, just like a platinum sulfide would be, or an osmium sulfide ore. So I'm going inside. It's hot. Good night.